that. Success. Randomly found flint. This time just in the woods. This is a really exciting video, guys. Stick around, watch the whole thing, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you comment, I will try my best to answer your questions. So if you have a question, feel free to ask. There's a big waterfall right there. Oh.
A salamander.
Is it? That's a salamander?
You see him?
Oh, I didn't mean to mess with your house, dude. Alright, he's crawling back into the wall. So we stopped at this creek here. I just wanted to look around and see what kind of lithics were here. And got an interesting orangish looking quartzite. And I could knap this into something. A really pretty location too. I like it here. There's little fish in the water, there's frogs. Thought I saw something, but right here I noticed two blocks of what looked to be flint, and that is flint. This is definitely flint, and that is good flint. Very, very cool. The whole pile right here. That is shocking. Alright, I'm going to keep looking around. So all this right here is flint, but it's very, very tough flint. Cool. Let's test this piece. For the heck of it. That is good flint for sure. Cool, cool, cool. Looking at this big chunk here, I don't know how the quality is, but it seems pretty big. It looks like it goes down pretty deep, and I don't have any digging tools with me. That is flint. Wow. Let's test right here. Look at that. Success. Randomly found flint. This time just in the woods. This is a good 50-pound block here. And a worm.
No, it's a salamander.
Is it? That's a salamander?
You see him?
Oh, I didn't mean to mess with your house, dude. Alright, he's crawling back into the wall. Cool. Alright. So right here I see a giant boulder of flint. The way I could tell is the smooth brown top. The flint here is a brown color. When you crack it open, it's black. So that's a giant chunk of flint. I'm going to keep walking down and see if there's anything that I could actually crack into. That's too big and all I have is a little stone.
Let me see your hammerstone.
So I got a little washout from downriver here. This stuff was washed in. So I'm going to check to see if any of it is nappable. Got a little hammerstone. A little ringy. Hear that ringy bell? That's either high quality limestone or this has flint in it. I'm not sure yet. That's a high quality limestone. You can nap that. That is razor sharp. It's just, it's brittle. So like if you're using that as a tool, you're going to have to resharpen it a lot. But you could see it comes off in a conchoidal fracture, just like flint. Except this is limestone. Alright, so I got a piece of brown here, and I know in the area here, the brown is sometimes flint, sometimes it's basalt. I won't know till I crack it open. So we'll see what we got here. Flint. See that? This is it's called a shale flint. It's not as shiny or perfect as most flints. This has more shale than flint, but you hear that ringing? Almost like a bell. If you hear that when you're testing rocks, it's worth investigating and cracking into, because you might be able to find something that, like this alone, can be used as a knife. If you're fishing in a creek like this, you catch a fish, you want to cut it open, gut it, just use the flake. Works perfectly. I'm going to keep this piece. Keep looking. I see black and brown and a lot of white and limestone. So it just takes some experimentation of cracking them open and seeing what's inside. So I'll show you what I mean about ringing. Like if I hit this coarse stone here, it sounds very dull, more like a knock. And then if I find something that looks like flint, like this, which is definitely flint, higher pitched, ringy, that's some good flint. It's got some damage in there, but that's flint. One I saw smooth brown and chunky black, and it has some fossils in it. Usually if you see stuff like this in areas with limestone and fossils, there's different kinds of flint mixed into stuff. I might need a bigger hammerstone to do this, but different areas will be ringy if there's flint in there, and other areas will be dull if there's not. You hear that? Compared to... So let's test certain areas of this particular rock here. That does have flint in it, but it's very weathered and not so good. Let's see what else we could get into this piece. I doubt it, but we'll try. Gonna need a bigger hammerstone. Yeah, I don't know. I really want to try to get into that to see. It's mostly limestone. There is some flint, but it's not anything wonderful. Nah. Alright, I thought that was worth investigating, but it's not.
Do you want to check that one?
Check this little thing. Where did my other hammerstone go now? There's this one. That sounds like a dull ringy. Let's see. That's a shell. It's nappable, but it's nothing too high quality. Limestone shell. You can see the glittering in it. So you can nap this, but it's not very high quality. There's my other hammerstone. Nope. That was a trickery. It's covered in sludge. Limestone. Ugh. Ugh. You want it? A higher quality sound to them. This one here, I know is probably going to be good. Gonna hit right at this ledge here. Super high quality flint. Smells like gunpowder when you hit it. Where'd that flake go? There we go. So that's a keep. I do not know what kind of flint this is. And then we got this here. It has a super ringy sound to it, but it doesn't look so good, so I wanted to test this. Limestone with some flint in it. The darker stuff is the flint. The white crumbly stuff is the limestone. I'm going to try the other side. I could see a little bit of flint in there. It's giving you a big problem like this and busting up your hammerstone. It's probably not worth it. I mean, there's a little bit in there, and I'm trying to... Yeah, see, that's like freaking concrete in there. So there's probably not a lot of good flint in there. Especially if it's giving you a hard time to crack it. Good flint will pop right off like that other one did. So this I'm going to leave here. So the reality of this, when you're looking, I went all the way up and down this whole creek and only found one really high quality piece. And this is super high quality, so to me this is worth it. It's kind of a banded chert. So I'm going to continue on and see what else I could find. I'm happy with this. I wonder if this is Onondaga. I don't know, it smells like mud. Alright, I'm out. Don't stand too close, there's no underneath you there. Here, I'm gonna throw it up to you.
Whoa. Spider. Alright, this is gonna take some digging. I'll be back. And we got it.
Okay, so there's some good examples here down off this cliff. Some of it is not so good, but it is flint, so if you wanted to use it for fire and steel, this would work for fire starting, for bushcraft. This stuff here is very decayed and not good at all for much of anything. This whole piece is no good, very decayed. Not much flint in it, it's mostly limestone, so I'm going to chuck that back. That could go back. That could go back. This is a good example of what the flint would look like when you're looking for it. It comes in different forms. This kind runs in veins through limestone, and you can see the limestone here and the limestone on the bottom. And this is, I'm going to call this Eastern Onondaga. Then there's other kinds. And I'm not so sure on this one. This whole piece might be limestone. But this is flint. That's a solid block of flint. Right here. You can see pieces have been knocked off from tumbling around down there. And that's flint. This is the same kind of flint. Massive boulder that Leah found. Perfect flint. Again, more examples of stuff that's decayed, not so good, can't really use it for anything, so throw that back. This piece might have some good in it, so I'm going to keep it. I see the shiny black here, so I'm going to try to split this in half and make something from it. This is that shale stuff. Look at this. So it'll cut, it'll flake, but I don't really like this stuff too much. I'm going to keep it anyway. Let's actually take a piece off. We'll use the flint to knock the flake off. So it does have some good shale flint in there. It's much different than the other kinds. If you look, you can see this is very shiny. And that's kind of dull, and it'll work. It'll shape, it'll cut, it'll flake, it'll make arrowheads, it'll make knives, but it's not as good as the other stuff. This is more of this. That shale stuff.
It's more coarse inside.
Yeah, definitely coarser inside. This I'm going to toss back. Can't really do too much with it. I have enough flint and fire steels for myself. This is going to be really hard to get into, and there's a crack going through. But that's some pretty high quality flint right there, but it's only about that much. So if you wanted to make an arrowhead from this piece, you could. I'm not going to keep this, I'm going to toss it back. So, another example of the flint inside the limestone, but that's very, very damaged. You can see it's damaged. I'm going to bring this home to try to split it. But for now, I want to check out this piece, because this is a mystery to me. I don't know what this is. It might just be limestone. So I'm going to use this big one to try to knock an edge off here. And that is limestone. So this is a whole big block of limestone. And as I said, this stuff is sharp and it'll cut, but it dulls quickly. You could shape it. It's very tough. It's a ringy, which means it's a high quality limestone. You can use that to knap, but I wouldn't waste my time with it considering I got this stuff. So I'm going to toss this back and keep the rest. So I've been conserving that one rock that you threw at me. I rolled down the hill, went in the water, and I've been really conserving that. I've made like 5 knives out of it so far, and I still have a chunk about that big. It's like a brick. But I've been like, oh God, I don't want to waste this rock because it's so pristine. It's the shale chert, and you just found 2 more huge boulders of it. So I'm very, very happy with that. We're already up in the mountains. I already found some flint. It's right at my feet. One of the many reasons that I come out here to look for this stuff is not only to make my stone tools, but it's also to look at stuff like this. We're heading up to Adirondack Park, which is bigger as a whole than like 5 or 6 national parks combined. And I'll put that up on the screen here. So we're not even in the foothills yet of the Adirondacks, but we're at this beautiful spot here, and I pulled off just to stop along the way to look for some stuff and to explore these creeks a little bit. And I immediately saw stuff on the ground. I could already see there's workable stuff you could use for flint knapping, for bushcraft, survival. It's flint, that'll make a spark, that'll make an arrowhead. It's really shiny. That's cool. Sparkles. Can you see that? So I'll take this piece. There's some right there, but it's not good. This right here is some kind of flint, but it's not good and has those crystal inclusions. But if you see stuff like this, then there's likely to be better around. So I'm going to poke around a little bit and look, and maybe try fishing over in that calmer area over there. There's been a lot of rain, so I don't know. Okay, so this stuff here, these little bounced around cobbles. If you're doing survival and bushcraft and you need a flint for your flint and steel fire starting, this stuff here is perfect. All you got to do is knock this piece off, or just take this, and that's good enough to hit your striker with, and that'll create sparks. This is all you need. You don't need much. You don't need a big piece like this. Got my steel striker here for flint and steel. A piece of flint that I picked off the creek here. And let's see if you can see the sparks. just got a bone hook, but I'm not using that right now. One of the reasons, one of the many reasons that I come out here to look for this stuff is not only to make my stone tools, but it's also to look at stuff like this. Like, I don't have this kind of stuff where I originally come from. This is still really new to me, and I've been doing this for 15 years and I'm not used to it yet. I'm not used to seeing stuff like this. There's just a big rain, so this is way faster than it would normally be. And so far, today alone, I've seen an eagle on the side of the road eating something. I've seen a chipmunk, a wild tree squirrel. That thing was vicious. What else did we see? We saw so much already. We just woke up.
Groundhogs?
We saw groundhogs, 2 giant groundhogs. They looked very friendly. There was a woodpecker in the camp eating the trees. It was, well, not eating the trees, eating what was in the tree, but they were slamming their heads against the thing and making a lot of noise. But anyway, part of what I do is not just to find the flint. It's also to enjoy nature and to enjoy being out here. And I want to show you more of that. I've shown you enough of this. You could go back through my old videos and how to identify this. But along the way, I am looking for this stuff, and I will show you if I find any, because it's still awesome. But for the most part, I just want to show you these areas that I come to and what is so exciting for me to be out here. And I'm sure it's exciting for you guys to see as well. So I'll share it. So I saw this right here. It's a grayish flint. It's tough. Wow. Hold on. Hold on. Bigger hammerstone. Okay. That is not working. So it's crystally. It's definitely crumbly. That's a whole brick of it. So if you can find something like that, that isn't so cracked, and it's more pure, you'll have a good block of flint. But along these mountain creeks and mountain rivers, you'll find all kinds of stuff that you could use. So what I'm trying to say is, really, I use this as an excuse to come to places like this. Like, it's flint. But, look at that. This is the excuse. This is what I use to come out here. This is my reason for being out here, but not really at all. I see a lot of this around, and I don't know if this is red ochre or not. I'm not sure at all, but it definitely can be used as a natural pigment in paint. If you wet that or even just touch it, it stains your finger. Might just be a mudstone of some kind, but it works. So I walked up and down this bank here, just looking real quick, and there is flint here, but it's got all kinds of inclusions, and it's not the best stuff, but it will flake like that. And that could be used as a tool, a hide scraper, whatever you need, like any kind of sharp tool. You could use that as a knife even if you need to cut something sharp. I kind of cut myself on it a little bit, but this material is not the best for flint knapping because of all these seams and cracks in it. It'll kind of just break the point if you're trying to shoot that on an arrow or throw it with an atlatl spear. This will just shatter when it hits something. This stuff is way better. This is the only good piece I found on this stretch. But I'm not like crazily looking. I just walked straight back just to see what this looked like and to see if there was anything here. I found this. I found this stuff. I'm not happy with it. This I'm happy with. That's coming home. I'm going to make a spear point out of that if I can. So I'm going to clip that in here, just me napping a spear point. We'll do that. Alright guys, very quick arrowhead from that stuff on the river. And I think there might be trout in here. It's been a lot of rain, so I don't know if they're here, but I'm going to try some fishing. Let's see if there's anything, I don't know. So I walked up further from the bank, and I'm finding more of this stuff up further. There's some right here. And that'll make a nice spear point. That's the same stuff. I got this little telescopic rod that unfolds like that. It's great for like if you're backpacking. And I got some worms for cheap. Maggots. Super worms. I don't know what they are. They're some kind of insect that fish like, I was told. I don't know if it'll work. We'll see. So if you guys like this thing, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to pick one up for yourself. I like it a lot. This is great for travel. It doesn't take up room. You can carry it with you. It doesn't get hit on trees and stuff, and doesn't cause chaos. And then you just have to have some kind of bug. Cause I don't know. Plastic stuff versus bug. I think the bug is probably tastier than plastic. I'm not going to test it. Yeah, nah, not right now. Not right now, at least. I want to go fishing. And we'll just go up over there and try the. Oh, here's a piece. No, that's not good. Oh, nice. That is nice. That is a big chunk of flint. So, this stuff is good, but it's in limestone, so it's hard to get into. But it's a lighter color variation of the stuff I found before. And this is the more crystally stuff. But I like the color of this a lot. I really want to find more of this, but in a more solid piece that doesn't have so much of that crud in it. Sorry, I got excited there. I like that color. Okay, fish. And be out in the wild for 11 days. Then I gotta go home, but then I'm coming right back out for probably another 11 days. So, 22 days in the mountains, in the wild. Look, the worm is still on there. I'll leave that on, I'll use it later. It's dead. Okay, we're heading out. Just a little bit of a exploration day today. We just packed up from our campsite. We got in late last night. We camped up the road at a primitive campsite. I recorded a little bit of that. I'll splice it in here to show you. Alright guys, morning one. Poured out last night. We were up in here, right in that tent. And it rained so much, there's actually a little bit of water running down the road here still. First night is always a rough night. We got here, it was starting to get dark. We had to set up really fast. Did not really start doing anything yet. Just kind of got here and relaxed. Went to sleep. I'll walk you through the site real quick. Let's see, look, there's literal running water. Yeah. Okay, so campfire, table, and tent, and that is it. This is a primitive campsite. There's nothing else. Not too bad. I like this site. I'm gonna mark this down. Leah is rolling up the tent. Getting ready to head out here.
Close.
He's looking. Oh. There it goes. Get the frog out of the campsite. Go away, frog. Alright, just wanted to fill in the blank spot there for you. All set? Next spot? Which way? That way or that way? That way? Okay. We're going that way. See you in a bit. I'm leaving. I'm going to show you guys today how I identify different kinds of creek rock for flint knapping. In this video today, I am going to show you how you can find flint in creeks and riverbeds and knap it into useful tools. And in this case, an arrowhead and a knife blade. Stick around to the end to see both. Let me know what you think. And like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when I upload, otherwise you won't see my videos. Looks like it'll flake. Give it a try. Look at that. Some kind of black flint. I'm not sure what that is. I'll keep that though. One for the effort at least. Interesting black flint. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna have to look into this area and see if I could get a name. Piece off. Yeah, that's chalcedony. This is almost like a, I would call it like a flint ridge type material, this white stuff. I had a big blade of the white chalcedony from Flint Ridge, from Nether's farm, and I made a blade for the Wood Beardsman and gave it away as a gift on his channel. That's the only piece I ever got of that.
It was that giveaway contest.
Yeah.
Where you had Easter eggs hidden.
Yep. So this is the same kind of stuff from that knife. I was just testing this piece because I saw this little tiny shiny.
Whoa, hello.
Look at this. It's got limestone in it, but it's a lot of flint. And it's white on the outside. What the hell is this? Okay. Looks similar to this. This is more crystally. This is fine-grained. So there's like a bunch of different stuff here, apparently. Cool. And I found what looks to be a giant piece of flint here. I'll give it a test and see how it looks. Let's try this edge. It's not high quality, but it'll nap. I'm gonna bring it with me to experiment with. And try cracking it open. Usually if it's high quality stuff, it rings like a bell. Let's see. It smells like sparks.
I smelled that too.
Nah, I'm not going to be able to get into this piece too easily. But there's a little bit right there. I think this is going to be a pretty point if it survives. Today I figured I would show you how to make an arrowhead and I'll go through the process of how I do this right now. So what I'm gonna do is try to find a place on here that I could hit and start taking flakes off. The way I knew this was flint was the smoothness of it and just seeing some pieces that fractured off. So we'll get started on this, we'll give it a try. I have a few in case it fails. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna hit on these edges. Like this. That by itself could be an arrowhead. Alright, so we took off this mass right here. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying to thin it. Keep these, could sharpen them up, use them. It's getting thinner and thinner. Now this stuff is not glossy, glassy. I think it's a New York chert that they blast away in the limestone. I'll keep working at it. So I'm gonna flip it over now on this edge and get to the lower points to take flakes off this side now. We were taking flakes off that side. There we go. Keep that. Shape it down a little bit. So now we got a biface just about. Have to thin the base. And to do that, I'm going to grind down on all sides. Just to strengthen the edges a little bit so that when you hit them, they don't just turn to dust. If you grind them like this, it makes them a little stronger. Probably start down at the bottom when I do this. All right, I'm gonna do indirect under the knee. All right, so we're gonna rest this on the edge and hit with an antler. I'm gonna use a moose antler. So this is the same thing as what I was doing before, just with a direct line, more precise. So like I could line up right here where I made that mark. And it knocks the flake off in a straight line most of the time. We're just going to do this all the way around. Try to thin it more. You see here it's some really rough stuff, so it's going to be difficult to thin this, but we'll be able to do it. Getting a rough shape now. There we go. This is some interesting material. It's kind of glimmery. Does have limestone in it, all this. So we'll try to get rid of some of that. Pretty crummy. So I made this edge low here at the base, and I'm going to try to get rid of this bunch of limestone. So I'm going to grind down. I'll grind all edges just in case. So what I'm going to do is use a smaller bopper, smaller, and aim at that low point there on this ridge. See that bump? And we'll see if we can get rid of that. I hold real tight right on the line, and then I'm going to hit into the stone, not straight down, but into the stone. Went right along that first line and thinned it, and that is limestone. We're going to need to do that on the other side as well. Alright, bug. So same thing, just grind it down, get to the low point. So it's straightening out now. I gotta be careful with this limestone stuff because it's usually pretty weak. But it looks like we're past the worst of it here. So I'm going to switch back to my indirect. Alright. Go. Getting there. I think this is going to be a pretty point if it survives. Okay. Doing a pretty good job at thinning it. So this is the point where you want to be really careful, because you don't know how sturdy the rock actually is if it's gravel. So I'm going to hit right on this corner, not straight into the base, but at an angle. So I'll be hitting right into here in this direction. Still a little thick. I'm gonna take some off this side. That worked. All right. I have the biface now, preform. It's still a little thick there. Let me try to get some of that off. So it's thick here. I'm gonna hit this edge. Alright, so this is about the size I would use on my arrows to make sure they are sturdy. Okay, I'm gonna say this is good enough. I'm gonna grab my deer hide. This deer hide here was actually a deer my uncle killed over 40 years ago. So this deer hide is older than me. All right. So now we're just gonna sharpen it and shape it by pressure flaking. Same process, just pushing flakes off. And just sharpening and thinning the edge, shaping the point. Keep shaping it. shaping the tip. This stuff is crumbling a little bit. It's not as sturdy as I would like because of the limestone in it. Alright, this stuff is interesting to me. It's like a glossy, not glossy, but glimmery. I don't know if I could show it on camera. It's got little sparkles in it. It's black. Strange. Actually just going to try to thin this just a little more. And what I'm going to do is grind the edge here, flip it over, and use the indirect. I'm going to push in, hit down. You can see the dust coming off of this. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. It causes something called silicosis. It's not too nice. Okay. You can see the pattern on there going straight across. This stuff is really hard to thin, but the point out of this material, hunting point, would have been that thick. Around here at least. So, we're just gonna finish sharpening it, put some notches in it, and then it's good to go. I mean, this came from something like that. Just a little piece of driveway gravel. I serrated this edge a little bit, makes it really sharp. So I'm just going to put some corner notches in here, small ones. This ear is a little off, so I'll fix that. Make the notches go just a little deeper. Yeah. That looks good. Put a little needle tip on it. Now you could put this on an arrow or a spear and hunt with it. Knapping weird materials like this. I don't even know what this is. Might just be limestone. Sharp. It's definitely sturdy, it'll work. I'm gonna show you guys today how I identify different kinds of creek rock for flint knapping. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw on what was it, Alone? They were using oh no, it was the Beast. They were using limestone tools to butcher animals. So this is flint, this is sharp. This is like hundreds of times sharper than limestone. If you could do it with limestone, you could do it with something like this. Stop here, and I found what looks to be a giant piece of flint here. I'll give it a test and see how it looks. Let's try this edge. Now this one I found in a creek, and I saw this smooth black here. When you crack it open, it's very, very grainy, and it's very ridgy, very bumpy. This is not good for flint knapping, but this will make good materials for a flint and steel fire starting kit. If you find something like this, you could bust this off. I'll actually show you. Yeah, so there's a ledge right here. I'm just gonna bust that off real quick. Hammerstone from the creek. You're just gonna hold it and hit. See, you could probably see the sparks as I'm hitting it. There we go. So very, very grainy inside, but it has this edge here. And I'll show you at the end of the video how to make sparks with something like this. There we go. So not so good for flint knapping, but good for fire starting. Then I have another rock that I found. Now this one has a lot of lines in it. So really the only thing you could do with this is section it off at the lines and hope you could make a tool from it. There might be some good spots in here, but I doubt it. You could see all the lines through that. We will give it a quick test. Always put leather down on your leg when you're testing. And that's to protect your leg from getting cut. See if I could get a good spot to hit here. All right. Now, this piece here actually looks like it might be able to make something. It's a thick chunk, but there's actually not too much damage in this one. There's a little bit right there and a little bit right there. But I think today we're looking for a knife blade, so gonna have to be a little bigger than that. But you can use this if you see those lines in it. You just gotta know where to work around, but if you have something like this, you can't really use that. There might be something in there in the middle if you feel like whacking on it all day long. Then I have a piece from the creek that looks medium quality to me. And this is really, really green in here. So I'm gonna see if I could get a nice flake off of this. There is a lot of lines going through it. So this piece might not be so good. We'll see. So I'll show you what those lines look like. When you bust into them, it might look good at first. You see this crystal-y stuff? That's where it split off. And then on this side, you see what it does there? Those white lines are crystal inclusions, and it makes the rock very weak. So you could still get a point from this, but it's not going to be very durable. So I'm going to go on to a higher quality rock. Now this one here might not look so good. It's really rough, but when you bust it open, see those colors? And I think I'm going to try to make a knife blade from this. This is my highest quality that I have with me right now. So we'll just see what I can do. So if you're collecting from creeks, you're going to want to be a little selective, especially if you have to carry it back. Let's see. I'll try this angle here. My jacket is a shock absorber here. Looking for a nice long flat blade. This one will do. Came right off here. Now I'll see if I could very quickly nap it into something I could use as a knife. I'll move a little bit closer. So I'm going to be hitting on things called platforms. You keep your finger underneath. See what we could do here. See, now there is lines in this too. Those are weak spots, but you could work around them. Make something to use. Just thin this out as much as I can. This spot here has some shale in it. You're going to want to get rid of that. Big flake taken out. I'm just zigzagging back and forth, shaping it, thinning it, gonna hit here next. Oh, yeah, hit right there. Alright. Shaping it, thinning it, doing the best I can to keep it in one piece, because creek rock is finicky. But if you know what you're doing, and you practice enough on this stuff, I'm just using this to grind the edge a little bit so I could smack there. Now these lines, inclusions, go at an angle. You can see one there, one there. So I'm trying to avoid messing with them too much. They go through the whole piece. And like I said, that is a weak spot. And I'm trying to thin it. But in thinning it, I might break it. Just grind it so you can see what you're doing, and to make those platforms a little stronger so they don't crush. I try to get rid of this bump. Got rid of some of it. Now, if you were using in a survival situation, you would use this as your knife. These look cool. These are fun. These are tools. You would just put it on the skin like that, and use something bigger like this to butcher the meat. All right. So I am getting there very quickly. Just being careful around those inclusions. And this way a little bit, so you can see what I'm doing. Took that right out of there. All right. We are getting there. Now, like I said, this is not incredible rock. It has flaws. But I'm going to show you how you could make something from it. At least a knife blade. Just do this as quick as possible. So this piece has a lot of damage in there. What I could try to do is get it from the bottom or from the other side. With rock like this, you can make a fairly pretty knife when you put it on a handle. Like I said, you're going to want to be careful thinning it. Getting there. When it gets thinner, on damaged rock, you're going to want to be careful. Weak spot, weak spot. Every time you hit it, it's weakening that a little bit more. So you're just going to want to be really careful. Try to support the rock with your other hand as much as you can while shaping. This has a cutting edge already. And this is from rock I just pulled right out of a creek. And it's working. Cruddy in there. Really cruddy in there. Gonna hit right here. This is the tricky part. You hit at the base going forward, you're likely to snap it, but we'll try. Thinned it. So the reason for thinning this area is so that you can put it on a handle. Because these knives work a lot better when they're on a handle. Just finish up shaping, sharpen it up, put some notches in. Shaping it. And thinning it. Now this is good as is now for a knife blade. If you look at artifacts, there's a lot like this. I mean, they're more at a tip, which I'll do right now real quick. Like that. So we'll do one more pass over to sharpen it up and to put notches in real fast. I'm going to use copper and a leather hand pad. Copper inside a dowel and just sharpen it up. So same thing, I'm gonna just push on those edges in and down. So into the point, push in, down, down, down. And just sharpen up that whole edge. Make sure it's nice and even all the way around. Now you would think that rock wouldn't make extremely pretty points, but it does. Look at that. That part I could thin a little bit. Look at that. Now I'm gonna leave this spot a little thick because of that damage in there. You can see it right there. If you leave it thick, the knife blade will survive and it'll cut just fine. I mean, it'll cut me. Here, look. Can you see that? Oh, I'll do it right here. Cut, cut, cut. And this is not even incredibly sharp yet. Not yet. It will be. Okay. Sharpening up those edges. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw on what was it, Alone? They were using oh no, it was the Beast. They were using limestone tools to butcher animals. So this is flint. This is sharp. This is like hundreds of times sharper than limestone. If you could do it with limestone, you could do it with something like this. Make it sharp enough here, and that'll cut your skins, cut your hides, and it'll butcher the meat like a regular knife. I decided to, it's fall now. It's cold. It's like 20 degrees. Well, it's 25 now. Last night, I got in late last night, as usual, and just car camped this time. I slept in the back of the car, and it was very, very, very cold. I'm glad I had 0-degree weather sleeping bags. But decided to come down and look for flint, see what I could find along stretches here in the mountains. And I'm just going to explore around and see what I can find. I'm going to be heading west. So I was looking at this piece of limestone right here. And I glanced up the rock line here and found some pretty high quality flint. You test it. Yeah, that's pretty high quality. I'm keeping this piece. Cool. Look at all the frost.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to see it because this stuff has limestone mixed in. Here's a piece of limestone. Here's a piece of flint with limestone in it. So you can see how similar that looks. And then here you have the flint. It's just a little tiny piece. About half of this is flint. If you put side by side, you can see limestone, flint, limestone. Here's a bunch more. Some right here. This piece right here. Right next to limestone. That's a pretty big piece. I'm gonna take that. This is also flint. But it's very, very low quality and has a lot of flaws in it. So I don't really like to use this stuff. I always look for the higher quality. That lower quality flint. This looks really low quality. I got my giant copper lead filled bopper this time. Very, very, very low quality. Limestone here, a little bit of flint there. See this too. Next to it. Let's see. It's chunky, crystally. It'll work though. This is all no good. This whole section here. There's only a line of good going through it. It only goes about halfway. So, I'll show a little bit of a comparison here. I mean, this has dirt on it, but you can see the smooth surface here and here. But if you look at this, and you see that one crack going through, that would flake off. Compared to this gray, and you can see the lines running through it, and you could see how this would not work too well for flint knapping. It would work for flint and steel, but this would be better for flint knapping. You can see it's two different materials. This one's gray-blue, this one's dark gray. So check this out. If you're out here and you find something that you're unsure of, the best way to test it is to take a corner off. So what I like to do is hold underneath and hit and look. If I can't tell from that, I'll take the whole corner off by hitting straight down. And I'll do that here. You see how this ledge is aimed like that? Like that? So what I'll do is I'll hit right in this ledge, like almost straight down, to test it. And not flint. Some kind of slate or shale. But that's the way I test it. Either that or I just snap the whole thing in half. Like that. As I was doing that, I glanced up here and saw something. There it is. Good piece of flint right here. Tumbled chunk. You don't even have to flake that to tell it's flint. I'm gonna leave this one though, it's tiny. Can't tell. I can't tell if this is good quality or not. Looks like no. It is okay. It's a rough flint, it's not fine-grained. So I'm going to take this piece. Let me test the other side. It's very rough.
Looks like limestone there, and
yeah, that's limestone.
you can see it kind of mixed in right here.
Yeah, so there might just be a little bit of flint in here. So I'm not going to take this piece of half of it as limestone. I'll just leave it. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to check in all the creeks and head west over the mountains, through the mountains, and I'm going to be looking for Onondaga chert. And that stuff smells like oil. And in my previous videos, I did find a few small pieces of that, but I never found any in the mountains here. So I'm going to see where that line starts. As I'm just looking around, there's gray flint right here. Look at this. I've not seen this either, so I don't know what this is. Let's see. Might just be the same stuff, I don't know. High quality. Super smooth, super glittery, glossy. If I could find a big piece of that, that'd be great. I mean, if there's little pieces, there's big pieces, probably just like 3 feet down. Underneath all this stuff washed up. I'll keep looking. So this here is a medicinal plant that's been used for thousands of years. If you know what it is, put it in the comments. And even better yet, if you know what it was used for, put it in the comments. It's a fluffy plant. Soft fluff. Woot, woot, woot. So I just quickly looked over the whole topsoil here, the top layer. Didn't kick any rocks over or dig down any, just on top. And I found 2 decent pieces. I don't see anything big here. So I'm gonna keep heading west, following the creeks. I'm gonna head towards the Great Lakes. Let's see if I can find some Onondaga. Found some more that this actually looks like higher quality. That gray stuff. Let's see what this side looks like. Yeah. I will take that piece. That's a good piece. That's probably a good piece right next to it. I'll take those. These are perfect for spear points and small knives. These will work great. It's got a little bit of limestone in it. The flint starts right here. You can see the line of where it starts. That's all limestone. So this would make a good knife, actually. That's a decent size. This is the highest quality I've found of this gray-blue stuff. So that's really exciting. I've been looking for this gray-blue stuff, and it's usually in small little pockets and not really able to be napped into a knife, arrowhead, a spear point.
There's another piece.
Yep, that's kind of a weird shape with a lot of limestone.
Yeah, that's how we usually find it. It just is really chunky.
This is what I usually find.
But you have a
Big
nice
pocket of limestone, chunky and small.
What you just found is like a nice slab of it.
Here's more. That's a good arrowhead size. Spear point. Okay, that is awesome. I really love when I find random flint like this. I'll keep looking. In my pocket. So I got a whole pocket full of flint here. With 15 minutes of walking around. It only took me 15 minutes to find all that good flint. Sometimes you come to a spot like this and you don't find anything at all. But you can't find it if you don't look. So look. I'm happy I did. I was just gonna leave, and I looked down and she found some actually. I don't see any more. I'll keep looking though. There's a fossil.
What is it?
I think that's a fossil. I'm not sure. Yes, fossil. Some kind of worm in the limestone. There's more up here too. Little tiny shells and stuff. More of the gray here. I'm looking for these flat, shiny surfaces. Nice. Yep. Taking that. In my pocket, there's a giant piece. Under this. Look at that.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh, nice.
Ugh.
There's some more.
Yeah.
Little one. And some chunks.
Yep. I'm taking this. See what I could get out of it. It's an arrowhead. That's an arrowhead. And Leah carries the big rocks. Here you go. Enjoy that. Spotted a good piece of the black flint. Right here. Nice giant chunk.
Oh, I'm so glad we came over here.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's a keep. See, you can see this is limestone.
Yep.
And then that's the flint. That's pretty high quality. It does have some damage, but I'll be able to get lots of spear points and arrowheads out of this. Nice. You carry the big rocks. Here you go. Here you go. You got that? Mussels? Mussels. Not gonna go too much further here. I see one more piece right down there. right at the last little bit here. Always be careful coming down these. You don't want to twist your ankle. It's a pretty good piece. Pretty high quality. Pretty solid. I don't see many flaws. There's a bunch of limestone right here. Nice. All right. I have some acid reflux. Coffee did it. Okay, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to head out and I'm going to keep exploring and see what other different kinds of flint and chert I could find. Different colors, different material. All right. All right, so one of the problems that I've had is determining flint and high quality limestone, because it looks really similar, you know, especially if it's wet. So you just test the limestone and you can see how grainy that is. So that's super grainy compared to super smooth and shiny. This is not shiny, this is dull and grainy. You can knap it. It will work. It's very brittle, it's very tough. This stuff is very sharp and very shiny. Here's more. So again, it kind of looks like limestone. This might actually be Onondaga. Hold on a second. Hold on. That is not Onondaga. It looks like it though. That's what Onondaga kind of looks like, that white gray. But this is the same flint as this, it's just weathered differently. Okay. So I can't even move 2 feet here. I saw this, I was like, oh, limestone. I saw this, I was like, oh, limestone. And my foot hit it, and it's flint. It's a big chunk of flint. It's high quality flint. I'll actually show you how high quality this is. See, it looks like junk, right? You ready? You ready for this?
Surprise, motherfucker.
You see what I mean? Super high quality. Okay. Fossil. Right there. Shells. So I have no idea on this creek here what I'm looking for, but I see a little piece of quartz in this rock. You see that? Just a little tiny nugget. And I have no idea, so I'm just gonna test whatever rocks look like they could possibly have something in it. Limestone. And I'm gonna test the different areas of the rock too, because that's all limestone. So this spot's going to be difficult to determine what's what if the limestone looks like that. Keep looking. I think that's a toilet pipe.
Ew.
That's probably what that is. Ew.
Oh, this weird thing. What is that?
That's a conglomerate.
What the heck? It's a weird stone.
See something that looks different here. It's pretty big. This looks like it might be a quartzite. Test. That's a quartzite. Keep looking. So I'm not finding a whole lot here, and I'm actually not too far from where I was at the other location where I found a lot. But here's limestone with flint in it. You can see a tiny bit of flint right there. All kinds of crud here. Limestone. So it's just little nodules of flint here. These stones here are good grindstones and hammerstones for flint knapping, as well as like if you need to grind up roots or grind up other tools or grind slate. These cobbles will do very well. They're very rough, like sandpaper. Good for survival bushcraft tools. So there's also naturally shaped stones like this. If you really need to grind something, you could find a flat rock like that and start grinding into it. Eventually it'll make a hole, and then you have a mortar and pestle. And I've used these before for crushing dandelion root and such. And it works really, really well. Here's another one right next to it. Would work really well. Like that. You could also peck a hole into this with another rock. Like if you just keep going like that, and grind a hole in there. And then as you start using this, it'll work really well. Found a little piece of tumbled glass. You can put that on a necklace. Pretty. Found a maybe right here. This is a probably not, actually. No. Not if it caves in like that.
It's just got some in there.
Got a little tiny bit of maybe, like right there. So, not so good at this location. A nugget of something. Don't know. Quartz. And quartz. Alright, I am driving about an hour west now. Not much in that creek at all. Little tiny nuggets. That's it. Alright. To the road. This is it.
Did you find a giant piece?
Well, that's actually... I guess we'll see if this is waterproof. So, we said screw New York with all the rain that was going on. Canada's like right there. I smell something. You smell it?
What is that?
It's coming from... I know what that is. That's Wadobo beaver on a fire, and that's Woodbeard right over there. He's right over there.
We're gonna be eating tonight. Beavers in the smoke and the heat here. Ooh, that's hot.
Sup, Woodbeard? The Wooded Beardsman is one of my very good friends, and I did have plans to go up and visit him in Canada and look for some Chert and Flint up there, but the Canadian border was closed to essential travel only. There was signs everywhere There were guards everywhere, so that needs to be put on hold. Anyway, we continued on our way past the Canadian border at this point.
Where to go? Oh, come on. Oh my god. Okay. That is Rainbow Falls. And this is the Osable River. Jeez.
Like 13,000 years ago, this would have all been under a sea. You would have been very far underwater here.
What is that? What?
Oh, it's just the seam.
That's weird. What is that?
I have no idea.
Some type of mineral in there?
It's slate.
That's weird.
It's got some kind of... Ew.
Huh.
Enfant disadvantage. I think that's French. So, okay, I have no idea where I'm camping yet, and the sun is going down. This often happens with me, and that's why you don't see me get the tent set up and everything like that in my videos, because I usually don't know where I'm camping until I get there, then I set up fast and I go right to sleep. But sun's going down, and I don't know what I'm doing yet. So right here, this was way bigger. Lake Champlain. It was actually called the Champlain Sea like 13,000 years ago. And ancient people hunted seal in there. There was seal in there. And there was giant whales that they hunted for food and ate. So right now, back then, we would have been underwater here. But the thing that amazes me most is there was whales in here. That's pretty awesome. Right now there's geese in here.
Didn't you say there was narwhals?
I think it was narwhals. I have to double check that. But if it's right, there were narwhals in here. Narwhals. And
How about a walrus?
we don't know. I don't know yet. Still researching. But right now there's definitely geese in here. And there's supposed to be a sea monster called Champ. It's like the Loch Ness Monster in here somewhere. I don't know where that would be either, but that would be some kind of dinosaur. That's a sea monster. We found it. It's small. It's like the size of a cow. I wouldn't call it a monster. I'd call it an inconvenience that lives in the lake. Fact or fiction, I don't know.
Drop a comment if you believe in the Lake Champlain monster. Have you seen it?
Is Champ real or not? Okay guys, it is 9 p.m. It's dark now, but right as the sun was going down, I think I just found more chert in Vermont. That looks very cherty. It's a little rough, but that's chert. And I got a few blocks of it to test.
We'll have to come back in the morning.
Yeah, we'll come back in the morning and take a better look at this. So I really got to dig into my tools to test that stuff. I'm pretty excited. I just found random chert in Vermont. Yeah, I got to get into my tools. I got to get into my tools. Some kind of fine-grained basalt. I don't know yet. I really have to crack it open and look.
We shall see.
Dark now.
See how it's got these little sparkly inclusions? It's weird. Alright, we're gonna test this.
So this is kind of shiny. Do you see that? I'll test right here first.
Is damage in there?
Damaged. That's a chert though. That's a chert. Alright, let me try another piece. Yeah, that's a chert. Try right here. That's chert. Cool. Okay.
What is it?
I don't know. I wasn't even here 5 seconds and I found some kind of chert. Like we literally just got here. That's chert though. That's nappable.
Yeah, we have to go back there tomorrow morning.
There's some dark red quartzite. This is basalt. There we go. Basalt. You can nap that.
It's really hard though, isn't it?
Yep. This is some of the hardest stuff to nap, but you can nap it. And I'm in Vermont, and I found this. That's an arrowhead size or a spear point size. Quartzite, super, super rough. It's probably going to be a lot of quartzite, and basalt around here.
Microfishing.
It looks like it is a chub. No? I don't know what it is.
What is it? Gonna use the ID app.
Yeah. Creek chub.
Creek chub.
Alright. It says creek chub. That's what he looks like. Sticky. Yeah. There you go.
What do you got?
Looks like some fine-grained basalt. Yeah. Nope, that's Flint.
Really? Wait. Don't unfocus. There we go. Oh my gosh.
Black Flint
What?
in the middle of Vermont.
Huh. You know, I think I saw another piece like that further up. Let me go see if I can find it.
Taking that. Test this piece here. This nice little ledge I could smack on. That's actually the nicest piece I found.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm looking for the smooth ones. So this one looks like basalt, I think. It's a little coarser grained, but then these two are smooth. That looks smooth. I'll try it. Let's see. We try these?
This stuff too, but I think it's... No, this is going to be Flint. Maybe?
Is it? See, I would think basalt on that, but maybe not. Try these three.
This is shale. Salt.
Is it basalt?
Yeah.
It's like super smooth though.
You want that bigger limestone?
Yeah. It's hard to get into these cobbles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basalt. It's probably also basalt. Have a hard time with this. Salt. Basalt.
So let me see what the flint looked like again then. See, it's that same smooth grain though.
I saw this from tumbling.
Yeah. See, those feel like the same to me. Oops.
That's basalt.
Yeah.
That actually looks like rhyolite, but it's basalt.
Hmm.
Okay. This is going to be a shale. Yeah, shale. Shale. No good. Flint.
Nice.
More black flint.
Hmm. What's that doing here?
Good question.
Glacier?
Looks like cobbles, glacial cobbles. But that's 2 pieces on this little stretch. That is suspicious to me. Hmm.
I missed it. What'd you get?
Chub. It's purple. Up.
Oop.
Up.
Cool. Oh,
Still more flint. Right here.
more flint?
Yep.
Huh.
I was gonna say that, if there was just 1 or 2 pieces, that would be like glacial cobble, but since there's more, there's gotta be an outcrop somewhere. This is it.
Did you find it?
Low quality.
Here, I just found this nugget.
Yeah, that's it. So, looks like this. I think that's it, but it's really hard to get into.
Did you get it?
Yeah. And split it. Now if I hit like right here, it's a tough. Try this, please. This piece is super, super tough.
Here, try these. I don't know if you can get into them. I mean, I know that that's grainy.
That's all screwed up.
Just
I think
curious if
this
that's
is.
it.
I think this is it. This piece.
It might be basalt.
Basalt.
Basalt?
Yeah. That is it, but it has all those crud in it. Oop.
Dolo stone? Maybe.
This is it.
Did you find a giant piece?
Well, that's actually not it.
Is it limestone again?
Looks limestoney. Hard to tell.
Next to your foot.
Yeah. I could see that's all cruddy though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good piece, but just a... Ooh, maybe it is.
I'll take it.
So what do you think?
Definitely Flint here. A little bit, but definitely Flint here. They don't eat in real life. It's a trout. It's a trout. What the? We can't put that in, but that's my reaction. All right, some crazy rain just came in. Oh man. What? Yeah, I don't know how heavy this is going to be. I'm up in the mountains. I don't know what mountain storms are like, really. Well, that's shaking the whole tent. Man. I hear lightning. Huh? Wow. That's a lot of rain. I guess we'll see if this is waterproof. It's midnight, like 12:30 right now. I can't really see. It doesn't look like it's flooding out there or anything. Just record all of this. When you're in the mountains, I learned this in North Carolina. If you are near a creek and this happens, if you are at a campsite on a creek and this happens, I would move if I was you.
You should add a link to that video.
Yeah, I'll add a link to that video here, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna cut this here. I'll see you guys if anything else happens. Caught a few bluegill. That's the loons in the background making that sound. It's like 6 in the morning. Cool. Wanted to get that on camera. Just walking around the edge of the campsite here and found a little piece of flint. Some kind of gray flint. Might be a limestone. Flakes though. That's a chip I took off. Zoom you around so you can see what I got going on. Good morning, guys. I'm along a creek here looking for flint. There's piles of rock everywhere. See something right there. That vein of rock going through the white, the black. I'll point at it. Right there.
Oh yeah.
I see some other stuff I want to test. I have no idea. Let's try it. Nope. It would work, but it's very, very low quality. Hand me that piece.
It feels like flint.
Let's see. So this is also a good piece. It's very tough flint, which is good for what I use it for. Very similar. This is lower quality, this is higher quality. But both are good for what I use for. Samples from this creek here. So I got 2, it's enough for me, and I'm gonna head out. So the rounder ones are a little bit harder to get into because it's a tougher flint, but it's higher quality. Almost glossy. So So this is the cobble. I just knocked the flake off for you. Incredibly pure stuff. It's kind of black gray. It comes in big boulders like this, big cobbles.
Did you get one?
It's a tiny bit windy. I am in the woods. Wild, wild forest. Let's see if I can make that come in a little better. There we go. So, this is why exploration is worth it. Been looking around quite a bit for somewhere that I wanted to camp. And I don't know what kind of trees these are. Maybe a spruce? It's not eastern white pines. It's got to be a spruce of some kind. I'll have Leah ID that for me, but this ground here is all soft. Super soft as I'm stepping on it. And man, that was a pretty long drive. So we got here and we looked around quite a bit and we did set up camp. I'm walking to it now. This is a pretty big area to explore here. I'm pretty excited. I have an inflatable boat. An inflatable boat. I gotta get a kayak. I just haven't been able to yet. But this water here, this all has moose on it. Apparently, I already heard some loons, and I saw one dove under the water or something. There's also some strange looking ducks. Ducks or something. Oh, I needed this. So, okay. I'm walking down to the campsite. There's nothing here at all. Like, at all. There's nothing. So, Leah is beat from looking up stuff and looking at directions and looking down. While I was driving, she was looking down at the phone trying to get a good spot here, doing some research and such. So I think she might be inside the tent, but I'm gonna at the last second here zoom you around so you can see what I got going on. All right, so I'll do this slowly make sure that, there we go. All right, so there's the tent. All right. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I got a good site. I'm gonna stay here for many, many days. We hung up our wet clothes from the rain. We got our solar panels set up here. The solar panel is amazing. It's just like a fold-up suitcase. It folds up. I'll show you in a little bit on that. And this thing will charge anything we have. Man. So, okay. Tent. Leah's in the tent. Stuff, camp stuff. And tackle box. Fire pit. Nature. Look at this. I got my pole set up. Look at this. There's freaking nothing here. Alright guys, I'm going to enjoy this a little bit. I'll be back soon. Upstate is awesome. Adirondacks are awesome. So I'm gonna go swimming in that. If it's not too cold. It might be too cold, I don't know. Alright, be back. Look at that shit. While I'm fishing here, like I'm literally in the mountain. Like, there's bears. So you should have bear protection. Or wild animal protection. And I don't know why people on alone don't have something like this. That's the first thing you should make. Some kind of spear, not just for hunting, but for protection. Spear is the oldest weapon known to man, besides just a rock that you throw. But everyone, you know, I always expected people on like the show Alone or Naked and Afraid to make a spear when they get into these situations. And I've only seen maybe 3 people do it. So, yeah, if you're going on Alone, you're going on Naked and Afraid, make a spear. Use a stone tip. If you want to learn how to make these, they're in my other videos. Come here. That one. Oh. That one.
What is it?
Looks like either... No, it's a red-eared shellcracker thingy. Not a big fish, but it's a fish.
It's pretty.
Mm-hmm. See if I can get this hook out of him. Let's see if I can do it like this without getting jabbed.
Aww.
Okay. I'll put him off the swim. tried fishing until it got dark out. It is midnight. I didn't catch much. I got other stuff to do though, so. Okay, have a good night, guys. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Good night. So, I'm just taking a little walk because I'm in the middle of a full-blown panic attack. My pulse is probably like 120 right now. Feeling like I can't breathe. So this keeps happening to me. This is part of the problem I'm having with the thyroid issues that I've talked about in my other videos for a few years now. And one of the reasons I haven't uploaded is because I keep having to deal with stuff like this. And I went to a pain management specialist, and he said that it's costochondritis and fibromyalgia, which I completely disagree with. I don't think it's that at all. It's probably the costochondritis because it hurts to touch sometimes, but it feels like it's connected to my neck. It's hurting my chest. So the reason I'm having a panic attack is because when I get this pain, it feels like what I would imagine a heart attack feels like. And again, I've been getting this for years now. Go to the hospital, I get EKGs, I get cardiologist checkups, and everything you could think of, and they're like, oh no, nothing's up. They're like, your thyroid's a little wonky. I'm like, no shit. So, I just have to stop every now and then. I guess the camera is, okay, yeah, the camera's there. So I just have to stop every now and then and try to tell myself that the pain is not anything dangerous. It's just pain. It's scary pain, but it's not dangerous. So I'm gonna keep doing this and just try to chill for a few minutes. But yeah, this thyroid stuff is no fun. It puts me out of commission for a while every now and then. So if some of you are wondering why I don't upload so often, that's why. I'm in and out of doctors' offices and specialists and all that. But when I can do these big trips like this, record as much as I can, and really helps. These trips really help my spirits. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. I know some people have been asking for some kind of health update, so I guess I'll throw this in. This is me in a panic attack. I used to actually faint from this. I faint like that, just out. But that was also the thyroid. Before I had my thyroid out, it was producing too much suddenly, and I would pass out. But now I just get these stupid-ass panic attacks that really scare me. But I'm dealing with a lot of pain. I have muscle relaxers, but I don't want to take muscle relaxers driving around. So I took 2 Tylenol, and I'm just gonna hang out and drive until it passes, I guess. And anyway, that's health update in Burlington, Vermont. All right, back to the road. Silver trout. Check this thing out. It's upstairs here. Let's see what this is all about. Looks like it might be a small fly shop up there. Yeah. Cool. It says go to Unit 1. Around corner, open door. Pick some of these up. It's a cool shot. So that's a cool shot. I got myself some stuff. 80 bucks worth of flies. $85 later. 85. And I got an old scratched up thing. But, hold on. Oh, look inside. That look amazing. I would eat these. If I was underwater and I saw this above me or below me coming at me, I would eat these. For sure. That's what 85 bucks looks like in Vermont. Okay, so he said there's a good wild brook trout nearby. He gave me tips because I spent a lot of money, I guess.
Bribery.
Nice place, nice guy. I like it here. Okay, I'm gonna head over there and check it out. So I'm under some bridge in Vermont. The water is freaking blue. Dude told me there's trout here. Said there's rainbow and wild brookies. Fix the color there. Yeah, look at that. Man, I wish I could show you guys how clear that is. Look at that. Maybe I'll just sit here all day. It's pretty amazing. Give you this view. I'm kind of on an angle here, just standing on rocks. I gotta make sure it don't slip. Alright. Let's see. There you go. Mad River. Apparently it just flooded. Angrily mad. Alright, gonna try some fly fishing. There's Leah with my pole. So I'm not leaving Vermont until I catch a trout. Like, I'm not leaving until I catch a trout. I'm not leaving until I catch a trout.
You see how clear it is? Jeez. I see giant boulders on the quartzite. Oh! Oh!
I don't know what that was. It went too fast.
Let's check the footage. Dude, it's so clear. Wow. That's quartzite? Oh, that's big. That's mostly what I see is like quartzite and then stone that's not so great for knapping. Hell yeah! Hooray! Is it a brook trout?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
I
his
believe
spots.
so.
Are you happy?
Yes.
You got the trout, finally!
Yes. Gnats. Yep.
Gnats in the stomach?
Bunch of gnats. Okay. Oh. About time. I'm gonna eat them. That's my first wild brook trout. I've caught stocked fish before. That was totally different. That was awesome. I caught 3 of them. Well, I hooked 3 of them. 2 of them flopped right off because I don't know what I'm doing. But I've caught rainbows before, and I've caught brown trout before, but I believe they were all stocked. But that's my first wild. I'm going to say that's my first wild mountain trout.
Hell yeah. High five.
Awesome! Awesome. He's tiny, though.
Hey, whatever.
Alright, back to camp. So now I just want to catch one on the fly or on the spinner, because I always catch stuff on live bait, and I really need to learn how to catch it without live bait. That worked, and I said I wasn't going home until I caught one. I caught one, but I'm going to stay longer because I can and because I want to. But that's pretty much every goal of this trip that I set for myself completed. Good.
Happy 40th birthday.
Yep. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them I'm 40. Turned 40 on July 19th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you. Alright, guys. I set very little. Well, I set some pretty big goals for this trip, actually. And, every single one I managed. Even though it's a tiny brook trout, I said I wanted a brook trout on this trip, and I got it. So I did it. I got a new source of flint. I got an amazing campsite. I got my fish. I don't know what else to ask for here. Everything's freaking wonderful. Alright, I'm gonna cook this up to get it going. Back in a bit.
He's got that fire going really quick. And he's got the local protein as well. A little brookie with beautiful red spots. Look at that. What a nice fish. Thank you, fish.
So he's actually tiny bit greasy still. I think he's good to go. Cook it a little extra just to be safe. And there's gonna be little bones in here, I'm guessing. And try some of the tail too. That is really, 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 really good. Let me cook them a little more. Crunchy. Let's see, did I cook them right? Well, that broke. There we go. Looks like I cooked them perfectly.
Nice.
Yes, look at that. Excellent. Excellent meat.
Oh, that looks good.
This whole spine is out. Taste this little morsel. Thank you for the meal, little brook trout. I'm gonna put it right in the fire. I'm not gonna eat the eyes like what Jared does. I'm just not right now at least. Okay. Little sacrifice. Thank you. Tastes good. I got my little project table from, I don't know, a week ago. And it's still holding up. Got my food on it, got my cheese on it, got my adobo on it. And eat a little brook trout. That is freaking delicious. Wow. I wish I caught a bigger one.
Have you tried the skin?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. I really wish I caught a bigger one. This is delicious.
I guess we'll just have to go back tomorrow and catch for like 10 more.
That's a wild meal. That's tasty. Hopefully I got all the bones. Looks like yes. Little crunch.
Calcium.
So, I don't know if the skin's supposed to be cooked more. Still a little. So I'm even going to eat the guy's skin. That reminds me of something. It reminds me of something. Wow. I did not char it, but still. That is good. That is good. Yep, need more of that. That fish is gone. I left a little bit for Leah to pick up. Mountain ice water. Same thing, it's got that same try right here. That's Chert. Cool. Okay. And this is a pretty good fluid point. Unworked block. Wow. And this is what I do. I explore. That is awesome. So amongst all this slate here mixed in, there's little tiny pieces of chert that kind of looks like slate. Knock a flake off. And chert. I am busting my ass here. Whew. You guys watch this whole thing. Right, full stop if you do. Whew, okay. So I found a bunch of new Flint sources of river cobble, which is awesome. Some of it's pretty pure, like there's no flaws in it. It's a jet gray, jet black. Just gonna poke around a little bit. So this is where it is. Black stuff. Some of it's damaged. So I'm just checking out random rocky shores here. See if there's anything. Not seeing anything here. Looks like limestone here. This here is limestone, that big chunk. So there might be some stuff around, but it's not going to be anything amazing. Just peek. Limestone. No chert here. So I think this is slate, but it looks like really high quality. I don't know if there's any high quality slate. Let's test it. Yep, that's slate.
So it really wants to come off in these...
Comes off in sheets like that.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then, like, if you have something like this, if you want to, you could flake it.
It's kind of a... looks like an uncontrolled flake.
Yep.
But you can thin it.
Yep. So it's in between the layers of shale. This is shale. It'll just break like that. And then right here is the chert. It's very shiny, very smooth, very black. And I don't want to crack this piece, but you could see that this came from this outcrop. This fell away.
Here looks like a really good piece.
So getting into some different colors here. There's mottled green and black. There's gray. Variety of colors here.
It's like really green.
That piece fell off of this block, it looks like. Along with this big piece.
And that's not just the cortex, right?
No, look down the side. So amongst all this slate here, mixed in, there's little tiny pieces of chert. It kind of looks like slate. Knock a flake off. And chert. It's damaged, but it's definitely chert. Take that width. It's not so good. This is more shale. So this side is shale, this side was chert, but I got the best of it. It's just a little tiny piece. This stuff, break with your fingers. Okay, pick this up from right there. I have no idea. I'll test it. Yeah, that's chert. Little tumbled piece of chert. That's pyrite in it, looks like. Take that. Test this piece here. This nice little ledge I could smack on. That's actually the nicest piece I found.
Cool.
Okay. This is going to be another nice piece, I think. Kind of damaged. That's not so great. I thought it would be better. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's everywhere here. This is a whole pile of flint that they're using as fill. That's not a good idea to drive over that. That is awesome.
Woods a little bit. Where our creek lets out is this. Looks like a really good swimming hole.
So, I've never been up there. I don't know what's up there. I looked at the map a little bit. I'm pretty much just going to explore. And this is what I do. I explore. I don't film all of this. This time I'm going to film a lot more than I normally do. Usually I film just the flint. Finding the flint, using the flint, whatever. I want to film the whole thing this time. And let me know what you guys think. So it's wildflower honey that Leah just tried.
That was good. I need like...
She's gonna put it in her coffee. Apparently, I say coffee weird. The girls inside the gas station laughed at me. Now I'm all embarrassed. Let's see. So there's the coffee and the chips I bought and bait and all kinds of junk. There's some kind of stick bug or something. It's like, I don't know, man. What is that? That's not a bug, is it? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Looks like it's hanging on right there. That's strange, man. I don't know. right there. Amazing wildlife management area right there. This is all hunting area, hunting and fishing. And apparently there's huge trout in here. Cool. I love stopping at places like these, especially when you could just see what you're looking for right there. I'm just gonna go and look at all this parking lot rock. See this, on this piece here, the whole top layer of limestone peeled off. So now you're just left with the flint, but it's very, very weathered. See, it's cracked and in pieces. This piece might be good, but if you tried to knap this, it'd probably fall apart. Your best bet is to find something that just washed out, that hasn't been sitting in the elements for a very long time. Something that just washed out of a wall somewhere into one of these creeks and rivers, and then you're good to knap it. Okay guys, I am gonna keep checking out these little state land areas here. It says no camping, that sucks. So, salad, cheese stick, some hummus with chips. Mountain food fuel, part 2. You're gonna have to watch the older episodes to know what the hell I'm talking about.